The choices here are as plentiful as the orchards are fruitful. We are Wenatchee.
I'm Corey Callahar, Superintendent of
Happy Thursday, folks. Good to see you, television family. We have gathered once again to have more fun. Beats working. It is Thursday, 13th day of July, 2023. I am Dan Kuntz, right out of the box. I want to get this out of the way now. I'm a little excited this morning, and I'm going to tell you why. I think I'm going to win the lottery. I feel good about it. I really do. The Powerball odds are 1 in 272 million. I'll take those chances. I just wanted to, I had that vibe. I'm gonna win the lottery. Haven't bought a ticket yet, though. I suppose you have to do that. It is 66 degrees, gobs of gooey good sunshine. Going to be warmer today than it was yesterday. It was plenty warm for most folks, almost 90. Hit 89. On Wednesday, will be warmer than that today, warmer than that on Friday, warmer still Saturday, topping off Sunday, cool down on Monday to much more comfortable temperatures. A very summer-like forecast is on the way, but fire up the AC if you haven't already. You're going to need it over the next 5 or 6 days. It is Thursday. Pause for pets. A dog named Ronnie needs a home. We'll check in with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Apple Sox smoking hot, beating an IMO again. If you haven't been following the Apple Sox yet this year, they have the best record in the league. Not just the North Division of the West Coast League, but the entire West Coast League, after just guaranteeing themselves a playoff spot when the first half of the season came to an end. They picked right up where they left off, playing good baseball. We'll hear from Storm and Joel Norman. Trish Blevins will be my guest in the back half of the program. She is the local coordinator for Mobile Meals. She's the only paid employee. It's all volunteers. And, of course, they get meals out to those people who can't go get them. Mobile Meals is a great organization, been around since 1971. Had a chance to chat with Trish earlier in the week, and you'll see that conversation in the back half of the program. And I think I'm going to win the lottery. I really do. Let's go around the valley with our cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi division. Once again, the Wenatchee Heights camera begins our festivities. Now, of course, the days are getting a little bit shorter. I know, don't say that, but sunrise this morning, 5:17. Sunset tonight, 8:55. Sunrise has been getting later and later. Sunset's been hanging around about the same time. It's now getting shorter and shorter as well. 15 hours and 38 minutes of daylight. On the first day of summer, on the solstice, back on the 20th, 21st, 22nd, we were almost exactly 16 hours of daylight, so we've lost about 20 minutes, but it's incremental. You can't really tell. Good morning to the valley. Good morning to Lake Chelan from our Greens Knob camera. That's quite a ways up, Lake Chelan area. That's on the South Shore, I believe. Looks like it's moving around a little bit. Right now in Chelan, let me check real quick. The wind is out of the northwest at 3 miles an hour. I don't know why it's shaking so much, but of course there are cameras on towers, and the towers are designed to move. They have to have some give and take in the wind. That's Greens Knob, heading up towards Holden Village and eventually Stehekin. The #1 Canyon camera is going to take a nice look at the sunrise this morning from the far west side of the valley. That is 5th Street that you can see, and the campus of Wenatchee Valley College in a pretty good swath of the west side of the valley. That camera is on a tower high up, #1. Canyon, which is basically you drive 5th Street and then you just keep right on driving up 5th Street. That's number 1 canyon. And the Arundel Rock camera as we check in on Lake Aniat, and it looks like a lake even though it's a river. Well, it's a river, but it's a reservoir is what it is. Good morning to our friends up to the north. You can see Turtle Rock and of course the valley off into the distance on a very pleasant, quiet, peaceful summer morning. However, as I mentioned before, the temperatures are going to start climbing. It's going to be quite comfortable in the morning hours, and then when you get to the afternoon hours, we start getting warm. Our normal high this time of the year is 87. We were at 89 yesterday. We will be right around there today, into the 90s easily by Friday, and then we start talking the potential of triple digits on Saturday and Sunday before we cool down on Monday and Tuesday. There'll be a cold front coming in. It's going to pick up the winds a little bit, but it's certainly going to make temperatures more tolerable. You have to be outside for a long period of time. And I've mentioned this a couple of times this week. We have not hit 100 yet this year. Last year at this time, I think we had hit 100 degrees at least 5 or 6 times, if memory serves me correct. Haven't hit 100 degrees yet, even though we had a very warm June and a very warm May. Temperatures have kind of tempered off just a little bit, but that's not going to be the case for the next 4 days. All right, from the National Weather Service, here we go. After a high of 89 yesterday, about 89 again today, with a little wind, not much. Northwest wind about 8 to 14 miles an hour. That's actually not bad. Keep us cool down. Wouldn't be surprised if we got to 90. 63 for the overnight low tonight. Again, a little breezy. Not bad at all on Friday, but we're going to start warming up now. Mid-90s on Friday, upper 90s on Saturday, upper 90s, near 100 on Sunday. And then another cold front will begin to roll into the area on Sunday night. It's going to cool us down on Monday with not too much wind on Monday, just cooler, quite comfortable with a high of 86. And then a little bit of wind on Monday night and Tuesday. We could actually even see a red flag warning on Tuesday and Wednesday as a cold front clips our area. We are everybody's talking about this massive amount of heat that's all over the western United States with, I think Phoenix has had like 2 weeks of afternoon high temperatures, 110 and higher. We're at the very top of that dome of high pressure, at the very apex of it. And it's going to gradually move north, and then it's going to gradually move east, and that's going to allow that cold front to come in overnight Sunday into Monday. It is 6 minutes after the hour. What made news on Wednesday? Well, we have a new staff, and that's what they get paid big money to do. And then I'll let you know in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party. Experience memories that will last forever on a Sun Chaser pontoon boat from Bob File Boats and Motors. If you're looking to get out fishing with your buddies or just enjoying time on the water with friends, a Sun Chaser pontoon boat is a great choice. Owning a Sun Chaser is more than just an incredible feeling of freedom and exhilaration. It's about taking that indulgence to the next level. See the full line of Sun Chaser pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Not a cloud to be had. It is 66 degrees. Upper 80s to near 90 today. 90, I think, might actually happen. Mid-90s on Friday. Close to 100 Saturday and Sunday. Then we cool down on Monday. It's 9 minutes after the hour. A Rock Island man who escaped jail back in 2021 had part of his prison sentence revised this week. Christian Edward White is serving 7.5 years for hit and run, fleeing police, and violating a protective order. On Monday, Douglas County prosecutors agreed that he was improperly ordered to spend 12 months on community custody once he's released from prison. That condition was removed by Superior Court Judge Brian Huber. White was one of 2 men who fled the Okanagan County Jail while awaiting sentencing a couple of years ago. They accessed the roof through the jail's air duct system. Both were recaptured about a week later. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office says they have had no luck so far, no success at all in the continuing search for Jesse Cadenas. You remember this story. He disappeared when missing on the morning of June 20th. He left his Rock Island home on his bicycle and has not been seen since. Neighbors were asked to review any home camera footage they may have had. A search party was formed later that week. On June 27th, the Sheriff's Office said that Cadenas was most likely in the Columbia River. They found some of his personal items at that time. The public is still being asked to help in locating Jesse, especially if you're a boater on the Columbia River south of the Rock Island train bridge. The Chelan PUD and Puget Sound Energy have agreed to a new 5-year contract for renewable hydropower from the 2 PUD hydro dams on the Columbia River. The contract provides 5% of the output from Rock Island Dam and Rocky Reach Dam to Puget Sound Energy from the years 2024 to 2028. It also complements an existing contract between the utilities while generating revenue for the PUD to continue rate stability for its customers. The agreement boosts Puget Sound Energy's supply of carbon-free energy, which is in line with the company's goal of becoming a, quote, beyond net zero carbon, end quote, energy company by the year 2045. Chelan PUD General Manager Kirk Hudson said the deal keeps electric rates below state and national averages, while at the same time helping Washington State meet low carbon policy goals. Residential real estate market in the Wenatchee Valley continues to cool down. The median house house price on June of this year fell 5% compared to June of last year. Pacific Appraisal Associates reports that the median sales price of a home in the Wenatchee market, $477,450. That's down from $502,000 in June of last year. There were 78 total home sales in June of this year. That's down 7% compared to June of last year, when 84 homes were sold. Active home listings also down 15%. 134 homes for sale this year. 157 homes were for sale in June of last year. Right on the River and NCW Libraries have announced the winners of their 12th annual high school writers competition. Congratulations to Jaden Matson. She's from Chelan. She won first place for her fiction entry At the Edge of the World, and 2 honorable mentions were also named, and they went to Jada Wood, she's from Kashmir, for Helios, and Isabel Mena of Leavenworth for Lost Princess Found, a story of resurrection. The competition is open to high school students in Chelan, Douglas, Okanagan, Grant, and Ferry counties, and any 9th through 12th grade student in public school, private school, Running Start, or homeschool. The winners will be special guests at the Right on the River 4 Minutes of Fame event that will be held a little bit later on. And by the way, $200 in cash prizes will be distributed among the 3. And finally, the town of Leavenworth is one of the most expensive places to live in our area, has been for quite some time. Home prices and rental fees often well beyond what people who work in Leavenworth can actually afford. With 3 candidates for mayor on the August 1st primary, our own Jefferson Robbins asked each of the candidates how the cost of housing could be reined in for Leavenworth.
Well, a big hot topic is affordable housing, which I believe they're referring to as workforce housing now. But You know, who doesn't support affordable housing? I mean, it's not just a problem in Leavenworth, it's a problem here in Wenatchee, it's a problem throughout the country. And again, who wouldn't support affordable housing? But I do think it's a bit misguided to put all your eggs in that basket when the city has many other very important needs. You know, I would support any affordable housing initiative. In fact, when I was city administrator, I was the one that found the grant money to complete the utility connection on an over-budgeted affordable housing project called Altea Village there by Club West. So I've got a track record of being supportive of affordable housing, but again, I think there are many other things that need to be addressed as well.
If we attempt a solution, we need to monitor those steps at all points. And if it's not working, we need to stop. Don't create any more damage on something that's not working. And that's just a business practice that you do. You've got to be able to be comfortable with yourself and say, you know what, I don't know if this is working as we planned. Let's stop. Let's not create any more damage. We have not succeeded in that. We still have what's being built with the high density is over $1 million properties. No one is going to be, most people are not going to be able to afford that. So we have to be realistic. I do think there are programs within the state, at the state level as well as federal level, where we can have subsidizing. We have about 15% of our existing housing is at subsidized. It's based upon the person's income. So it caps it at 1/3 of their income. We want that. We could do more of that without clearing out all these properties and jamming a lot of folks into sardines, like sardines in a can, when we're not prepared to do that.
Increasing density in and of itself is only one part of the solution. A key part, critical part, is having a funding stream that you can also bring to the table to say, okay, now these lots and these homes are ours. They're for our workforce. The only way in this society that I know that you can demand that is bringing money to the table. Otherwise, like I said, we'll just be creating less expensive places, but eventually they would all go expensive. So, you know, the key to getting a workforce, the key to keeping a diversity is both increasing the density, which has a lot of people upset that the density is increasing because they like the single family home type of community that Leavenworth has always been. But that ship has sailed. There's no way to continue down that line unless we just hand it over to the millionaires and say, you're the only ones that are going to be able to afford this.
And that's what's making news on this 13th day of July. We'll have another newscast for you tonight because we think it's important that our viewers be informed about what's going on in the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington. That's why we do a newscast. Makes sense? You can watch the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. If that doesn't work for you and you prefer to consume your news via the World Wide Web, you're invited to do that as well because our newscast is up and running on our homepage, on our Facebook page, and on our YouTube page. And if there's something out there that you think is newsworthy, you better tell us about it. Communication, that's important. Send us an email. It's the best way to do it. news@ncwlife.com. When we come back, the Wenatchee Apple Sox keep right on winning. Plus, we'll preview racing this weekend at the WVSO, and it's not too early to talk about Seahawks football, is it? Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Motion e-bikes is rolling out its new line of Avented e-bikes. Come in today and save $300 on the top-selling Aventon Adventure. Remotion is Central Washington's home for affordable e-bikes, located in the Mills Brothers building in downtown Wenatchee.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Minutes after the hour, what's better than winning 4 baseball games in a row? How about 5 baseball games in a row? By golly, 5-2 the final last night. Center fielder Josh Williams led the way for the Sox. He had not 1 but 2 home runs on the night. With more, the voice of the Apple Sox, our good buddy Stormman Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox picked up a 5-2 victory on Wednesday night at Soroxman Stadium to pick up their 9th series victory of the 2023 season. Josh Williams homered twice to give the Apple Sox their first 2-homer game since the 2018 season.
And the pitch is swung on, hit hard in the air out toward right field. Ranging back and watching this one sail for a home run is Hissel. It's a 2-run shot for Josh Williams. 3 batters into this game. Wenatchee leads 3-0 as Williams hits his first home run of the summer. 360 feet and a 100-mile-per-hour exit velocity for Josh Williams. Williams gets a hold of another one, sends it out to right field, and guess what? This one is out of here too. Josh Williams with 2 two-run homers, and he makes it 5-0 Apple Sox. What a day, Josh Williams. His second of the game, second of the season, and he has the Apple Sox first multi-home run game of the 2023 season.
And Sam Round, an incoming freshman at Gonzaga, pitched 6 innings of just allowing 1 run in that time. The Apple Sox are in their 9th season victory of the season to match their total from the 2022 season, and now look for their 5th series sweep of the summer as they face the Nanaimo Night Owls tonight at 6:35 p.m. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. Nice hotel room following tonight's game, by the way. In Nanaimo, they hop on the bus and they travel 160 miles south, or 68 miles, I should say. If they traveled 168 miles, they would be in the middle of Puget Sound, and that would be bad. They got Victoria in the first of 3 games starting tomorrow, and you can listen to Joel's call tonight at 6:35 on Sunny FM. Speaking of the Apple Sox, we're right back at it at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium to broadcast their season opener with the Bend Elks. Eric Granstrom, Brandon Schmitten for the call. Pre-game at 6:30 on television, also be streaming on our Facebook page. All right, to the Les Schwab West Coast League scoreboard from last night. Lane Brewster's 2-run triple highlighted a 6-run 4th inning for Victoria. Harbor Cats beating Port Angeles 11-2. Hudson Shoup continues to swing a hot bat for Victoria. He lifted his average to .432. He went 2 for 4 with a couple of runs. Ridgefield took advantage of 3 errors and a bases-loaded walk to score 4 runs in the 4th inning. That was the difference. They beat Bellingham 4-2. Bell's pitchers issued 7 free passes in the ballgame. Bennett Freightiers sacrifice fly scored Phoenix Sommet with a winning run at the bottom of the 10th. Kamloops walks off against Edmonton. The final there 5-4. Corvallis walked off against Springfield in 10 innings. Tate Shimino drove in Felix Call with a winning run on an RBI base hit. 3-2 the final there. Eli Kennel continues to have a good week for Cowlitz. The second baseman was 2 for 4 with a run and a couple of RBIs to lead the Black Bears over Bend 9-2. And 3s were wild for Cowlitz 2 nights ago. Well, they were wild for the Pickles. Last night, Portland beats Walla Walla 15-10. Jackson Jaha, Jack Metcho, and Evan Cloyd each had 3 RBIs on the night. The Sweets continue to search for their first win in the second half of the season. And Joey Harmon and the Yakima Valley pitching staff held the Northwest Star Academy to a 5-hit shutout last night. Non-leaguer the final 3-0. So Wenatchee is half a game in front of Victoria for first in the second half of the WCL's North Division. Nanaimo is a game back in 3rd place, and Kelowna is a game and a half back in 4th. And in the South, it's Ridgefield and Cowlitz, both 6-3. And atop the South Division standings, Portland is a half a game back at 4-2. Corvallis and Bend are each a game and a half back at 3 and 3. Gonna be hot, gonna be loud Saturday. Well, this whole weekend, as a matter of fact, at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Thunder in the Valley is back. It'll be one of the biggest open-wheeled events in the Northwest. This is a Sprint Car Pavement Crown Series event with these Speed Tour Sprint cars, $3,500 to win, plus the biggest Rockstar Energy B-Mod race of the year, $2,000 there in the purse. They'll be joined by the Northwest Focus Midgets in their Summer Triple Crown event, and the West Coast Vintage Racers practice tomorrow, 4:30, kickoff party at the Clearwater after that, and then Saturday gates open at 4:30, racing begins at 6. Don't forget your sunblock, going to be warm, WVSO.com for tickets and information. Kenneth Walker, the third. You remember him from last year because we had Rashad Penny. He got all banged up. Well, what a great campaign he had for the Seahawks last year. The second-round draft pick, rushing for over 1,000 yards, scored 9 touchdowns. Who remembered Rashad Penny when this guy was rolling good? So the Seahawks, of course, are still a couple of weeks away from training camp. So this is the time of the year where the players take a break away from the field to pursue their personal interests. And for Kenneth Walker III, it's picking up tips from a veteran in the field of photography.
I've always liked photography. I like art, photography, whatever. But I just now got like a camera, like it's probably like 3 months now. 3 months now, yeah.
Ken Walker has picked up a new way to see the world as a way of seeking art off the field.
All right, right now we're on the way to Middle Fork to go take pictures, obviously. This is my Canon R6. I got it like 2 or 3 months ago when I started off photography. This is the 24-105 lens, and this is the 7200 lens. I usually take this for like further shots, and I take this one for like wider shots. I mean, I guess that's what I do. So I got a camera, and then I met this guy named Connor Mack. He helps me with, that's who's helping me with photography now. I met him at the NFL Honors, and yeah, I've been shooting a lot of landscape, and I've been trying to learn how to edit and all that, but this week I'm actually going to Utah, Salt Lake City. We're gonna go and shoot at the Salt Flats. I didn't know what it was until he sent it to me, but it's pretty. My favorite photo, it was out there. I can't remember. I probably got 2 favorites from that whole trip, but that trip was long. Like this, I just felt like the mountain was cool. And
Sparking to photography is made even easier when you have experts riding in the front seat.
We see.
Rod, we want your official grade of this photo.
I'm Rod Marr, Seahawks team photographer. I have been team photographer for Pete +1, so you do the math. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, of course you just said that. No, here's why. Because you have foreground and you have background, and whenever you can put something into the foreground of a landscape photo especially, it gives it some depth, right? Because if you just shoot on that back plane where that rock is, then it's kind of two-dimensional, right? But putting something in the foreground gives it that depth and gives it the interest. And you did a great job with the exposure because the clouds work with everything that's going on here. Yeah, nice. So my story with Ken Walker begins last year. It was before training camp, and he approached me and said, hey, I want to do some pictures. And I said, oh, do you want to take some pictures? And he said, no, actually, he wanted pictures of himself. So we just went out to a park in Bellevue, and I shot some photos for him. He used them on his social channels. Fast forward to, I think, 2 months ago, and he mentioned that he had found a mentor that was kind of helping him, but he had questions for me. So Ken wanted to do some landscape photography here, and we live in the Pacific Northwest. It's beautiful everywhere you go. So he had his camera and I had my camera, and we were just kind of going on a photo walk, seeing what we could see. Tonight's mic'd up. Tonight's mic'd up's gonna be.
You mic'd up? Oh, shit.
I made it clear to him, like, you know, I'm a professional photographer, but I am not an expert in landscape. Landscape is not what I do, but I will help you with camera settings, and I really wanted to help him kind of learn how to see in different ways. So that was really, it was really fun. We had a great afternoon. And then try and get that sun try to get the sun right into your lens. So like just move, just move left and right till the sun gets brighter, and then now see where it got super bright? It was up a little bit to the right. Like now go ahead and hit that. When I photograph you on the football field, you're moving so fast I have to freeze you at a minimum 1/1000th of a second. That's how fast you're moving. Otherwise, you're blurry. So here, even though nothing's moving, at a 30th of a second, our body would be moving. I mean, clearly your arms are like tripods. Like I got these little arms. He is full sand, deep dive. I want to be a photographer, and done it my whole life, you know, and as any of us who do something our whole life, you know, sometimes it gets routine. So seeing photography and seeing a passion through someone else's fresh eyes is really inspiring for me.
Ken and Rod walked the Middle Fork Trail on a perfect Seattle summer day.
All of this shadow area, which our eye registers, we can see that. When we expose for the water, that just becomes dark. See that? And then the composition that I thought was going to be really nice isn't as nice because I've kind of lost that whole right side of the photo. It just goes dark.
Ken Walker, running back and photographer.
During the break before camp, everyone must find a way to feed their soul before the real work begins.
Pretty cool stuff, by the way. The entire first season of The Sound and 4 episodes of the second season, you can check them out by going to the Seahawks YouTube page. Training camp, by the way, begins July 26th. The first preseason game on August 10th. I, for one, can hardly wait. And that's sports at the bottom of the hour. I could have, and maybe should have, chosen for the obscure holiday National Embrace Your Geekiness Day. I didn't. Now, in retrospect, I wish I had, because instead I came up with National Franks and Beans Day, or Beans and Franks. That stuff there. There it is. The gastrointestinal delight for you Epicureans out there. Baked beans and hot dogs. Good stuff. I don't know why I did that. I had no idea until I did the research on this yesterday that I thought it'd been in cans for years, you know, but it's not. It's only, Franks and Beans in a can didn't come out until the 1980s. That's when Van Camp's, the baked bean company that makes the canned beans, they came up and then trademarked the name Beanie Weenies. Beanie Weenies. That's what you buy at the store, or you can just take a hot dog and put it in with your bake. Beanie Weenies. Sorry about that. Let's move forward to today in history. 1863, New York City, hot. The draft for the Civil War had just begun. Of course, for $300, you can buy your way out of it. Tensions were already simmering, and simmering big time, between the African Americans and the poor Irish, who were competing for the same jobs, and of course were also in danger of getting drafted. And things kind of snowballed, and the famous draft riots in New York City began on this date 160 years ago today, on July 13th, 1863, considered by many to be the worst riots in this country's history. They ran rampant through Manhattan for 3 days. 3 days. It started out as, I'm mad at the draft. And then they turned on the draft office and they killed those people and burned it down. Then they turned into a race riot. And then the whites, the Irish, they went off and attacked the black people, and the black people ran. 120 people died. They really don't know how many people died. They took a lot of the people who died and just tossed their bodies into the East River. It went on for 3.5 days, unstopped, until Lincoln had no choice. He took a bunch of troops that were still in Gettysburg, and he sent them up to New York City and said, if you find any rioters, shoot them on sight. And that stopped the race riots, the draft riots in New York City. The worst riots in this country's history broke out 160 years ago today. On a much different note, the 1971 All-Star Game, Tiger Stadium in Detroit, 52 years ago today. Johnny Bench hit a home run, Hank Aaron hit a home run, Harmon Killebrew hit a home run, Frank Robinson hit a home run, Roberto Clemente hit a home run, and Reggie Jackson hit this home run.
There's a long drive. That one is going way up. It is off the roof. That hit the transformer up there. A tremendous smash. Only 8 players have hit the ball over the roof here in Detroit. And Jackson nearly did it then out of the ballpark.
It's been done 13 times, Kurt. Norm Cash has done it the most, 4 times. Mantle has done it 3. Williams has done it. But that one was really a smash, more toward right center field. Longest ball ever to be hit out in that area was estimated at 560 feet by Norm Cash. What a smash.
520 feet. That's how far Reggie hit the ball. By the way, all the players who homered, Johnny Bench, Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente, Harmon Killebrew, Reggie Jackson, and Frank Robinson, they all would eventually end up into the Hall of Fame. And by the way, the American League won 7-6, or 6-4, I think it was actually. 46 years ago today, back to New York City we go. They had a blackout in 1965 in New York City, and everything went okay. Nobody did anything. It was in the summer, it was hot, but everybody was on their best behavior. The blackout of 1977 was another story altogether. Almost all of New York City has a blackout that lasts about 24 hours on this date in 1977. And unlike 1965, where everything went off without a hitch, in 1977, there were fires and looting. 1,616 stores were damaged, either by looters or by fires or by rioters. 1,000 fires reported to. 3,776 people were arrested. They had no room in any of the jails. They stuck them in basements and whatever holding pens they could get to. Damage in today's dollars from the New York City riots of 1977 from the blackout, a little over $1 billion. How many people were killed? Just 1, remarkably enough. Not a good night for New York. And on this date, July 13th, 1985, I remember this well, Wembley Stadium in London, which is no longer there, and JFK Stadium in Philadelphia, which is no longer there, Live Aid. The benefit concert takes place. Paul McCartney, Elton John, Bob Dylan, The Who, Queen, David Bowie, U2, The Beach Boys, Tom Petty, Neil Young, Eric Clapton. The big thing going in, of course, I remember this, I watched this, it was on MTV all day. Led Zeppelin, were they going to reunite the 3 surviving members? They did, of course. And of course, the biggest thing that everybody still talks about to this day, the surprise reunion of the Banana Splits. It's a wonderful day. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Live Aid on this date in '85. Birthdays. Harrison Ford, he's back. The Indiana Jones series continues. The guy's 81 years old. They say this is the last one. Harrison Ford is box office gold. American Graffiti, and then he did a movie with George Lucas, and it was about Galaxy and Obi-Wan. I can't remember the name of it. He was in that. And The Fugitive and Air Force One got an Academy Award nomination for Witness. That was good. Blade Runner. His films have made a few $billion bucks. Harrison Ford is 81 years old today, also 81 years old. Exact contemporary, Roger McGuinn, the leader of the Byrds, terribly underrated guitarist, pretty good songwriter too. Happy birthday to Roger McGuinn. He's 81 years old today. And Cheech Marin. Cheech Marin is 77 years old today. If you know Cheech, give him a call, let him know that it's his birthday today. Still to come, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. It's been a while since we checked in with our friends at Mobile Meals. They do great work. We like people who do good work. They're not too hard to find around here. Trish Blevins will be my guest. But first things first, Ronnie the dog needs a home. It's Paws for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'm an animal care coordinator here. And this big boy is Ronnie. Ronnie's our 3-year-old Alaskan Malamute mix, and he's the life of the party. He's in playgroup for a lot of the day because he gets along so good with all of our dogs. We actually joke sometimes when he's coming in through the gate that he's wearing a little crop top and high-fiving all the other dogs when he comes in. Hey, bro dog, what's up? I'm Ronnie, I'm here. That's our guy, kind of in a nutshell. Super friendly and lovey, and we think he'd get along great with kids because he's just so sweet. He does take a little, well, maybe like a minute of warming up for meeting new people, but after that, he's your best friend. He also loves going on walks and just really loves doing whatever you're doing. He loves the stuffed animals and he likes fetch and relaxing next to his people. So if you would like to come meet Ronnie, come down to Humane Society here anytime between 11 and 6, Thursday through Tuesday.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, someone recently posted this question on Facebook. Which segment of humanity, which group of people has been the most persecuted in human history? Well, my first thought was, well, the Jews. But then the poser of that question said that women, females, were the most persecuted and repressed people in human history. And I had to admit that was correct. You know, if you think about it, women have been abused with impunity, treated as chattel, relegated to subservient status, a situation that continues to this day, to some degree or another. And as always, I realized that the best way to deal with this inequity was not to point it out in others, but to deal with it myself. The question is, do I treat the women in my life with the consideration and respect they deserve? This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
It was, 3.5 years ago, Trish, when we last visited with Mobile Meals of Wenatchee. We're here in the basement, the bowels, if you will, of Confluence Health Central Campus off of Fuller. Trish, introduce yourself to the folks who haven't seen you in about 3 years on TV.
Yeah. Hey, so thank you for having us on first. I'm Trish Blevins, coordinator for Mobile Meals for about 3.5 years now.
And you are the only employee who draws a salary. Everybody else is a volunteer, and you work with the board.
Correct. Only paid employee. All the volunteers give their time and their gas to deliver meals. All the board members are non-pay, and we have about 9 board members now. So.
And people go, wait a minute, Mobile Meals, Meals on Wheels, Meals on Wheels is not Mobile Meals. Mobile Meals is a private organization. Mobile Meals is a government-funded organization, which comes with government
rules
and regulations and red tape. By being a private organization that's privately funded, you can avoid all that nonsense, so to speak.
That's true. That's true. Nothing against Meals on Wheels. They can deliver in rural areas where we cannot. We deliver in the greater East Wenatchee and Wenatchee City areas. We do rely on grants and donations. Yeah. So nothing against them, but they are two different entities as we're private nonprofit.
And the people go, well, why are you broadcasting not far from the cafeteria at Confluence Health Central Campus? It's a simple reason. They're the ones who make the food.
Yeah, they make the food. They have huge in-kind contribution to Mobile Meals. The room that we're standing in, the utilities, the labor to make the food. They donate all of that. We'll just throw in that Local Tel provides for our website. We are partnered with NCW Foundation. That is huge in the Valley. They have partnered with us since 2016 when the Follies created a wonderful fund. Endowment fund.
And that was a lot of money. That really helped.
That was huge. That was huge seed money for Mobile Meals. Yeah. So thank you, Confluence Health.
And they don't have to do that. I mean, it's nice to do it, but they don't have to, but they're doing it.
Right, right. Yes, Mobile Meals is part of the heart of Confluence Health.
And it should
really
be pointed out that having the people who work in the commissary at Confluence Health preparing the meals means that they're one up on everybody else. They understand nutrition, they understand balanced meals, maybe perhaps better than other places would be.
Yes, I don't have to figure that part out. Yay! And I don't have to prepare it. There's no way I could do all of that. So yeah, we're very thankful to Confluence Health.
How do your clients, your patrons, end up on your radar? They go to the hospital for a procedure of one kind or another, and they have to stay for a day or two. And the hospital kicks them out, and they say, now, if you need help, these are some folks you can get a hold of, and they're on your list. How does that work?
So the medical support staff, as well as social workers, know about Mobile Meals. So we do receive referrals from them. We do receive referrals from family, friends, adult children of family members that perhaps need a little bit of help with meals in the home. One of the really cool things about Mobile Meals is it does enable a lot of folks to be able to stay in their homes instead of having maybe to move sooner to a facility.
And they want to stay in their home.
Oh, who doesn't want to stay in their home? I want to stay in my home as long as I can. So yeah, it's very cool that way.
And I talked to Dan, one of your board members, who came and visited me a couple of days ago, kind of help expedite this little get-together, and he told me, he said, for a lot of the people who are clients and patrons of your fine organization, this is like their one contact with a human being throughout the course of the day. They just don't get out, either because they physically can't or they physically can't.
Some folks may because they physically can't. Some folks are homebound for other reasons. Maybe they don't drive anymore.
Or they're taking care of a loved one.
Right. So our motto is a meal and a friend at the door each day. So at least Monday through Friday, or whatever combination of days they may receive meals. That is true. So.
What did they do before? Mobile Meals started in 1971 here. What did they do before that? I mean, do you ever think about that? How did people who needed the services of Mobile Meals do without it before it was launched in 1971?
Yeah, maybe they just relied on a church or a neighbor, or if they had family, which those are all good things. But yeah, it's very nice to have the service and be able to provide that service for folks.
How did you end up with this gig, by the way? How did this land in your lap?
So I was a care provider and manager of a nonprofit vendor for the state for developmentally disabled people for 30 years. And when I got out of that, I thought, well, what else is going on? So when I looked around, this was available. So here I am working at another private nonprofit, which is great.
And you don't do idle hands anyway, Trish. You got to be busy, right?
Right.
You might as well do something that does good works as well.
Yeah, yeah. I really do love to help people, and the elderly, vulnerable people, they hold a huge place in my heart.
So Trish is the only person who draws a salary, and I'm not going to lie to you, it ain't much. And she's answerable to a board of 9 members, but none of this happens without your drivers, without the volunteers who are actually physically driving around the Wenatchee Valley and delivering the meals. No volunteers, no drivers. This place doesn't exist.
That's right. The drivers are the backbone of mobile meals. So without them, I mean, obviously there would be no mobile meal or no meals going out in the valley. So it's wonderful when they show up. They're here because they want to be, so they all have smiles on their faces. And even though I had to call several this morning and say, hey, location of pickup has changed, I just found out, they're like, oh, okay, that's all right.
No big deal.
So they're great folks. They're great folks.
Do you need drivers? Are you okay with them right now?
I do need some more drivers. Drivers do retire. Some move away.
Some go on vacation. Some get a tea time, need to go play golf. Some want to go see the grandkids. It's perfectly. You need a sizable roster of drivers so these meals can get out. You need more than the minimum to make it work, right?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to drive. It's great.
My guess is a reliable car, a driver's license, and insurance, and that's about it, which basically everybody's supposed to have anyway. Is that essentially?
Exactly. They fill out a really simple application, and I do a Washington State Patrol background check. That's very basic. We have to do that by law, as they are seeing vulnerable people.
And it's also common sense, too.
Right.
Yeah.
So, once I get that application, the turnaround's really quick. And I have them ride with an experienced driver a time or two, and they let me know if they want to drive in Wenatchee or East Wenatchee, maybe what day or days of the month work well, and away we go.
How do the people who are receiving the meals, how do they know, hey, I have dietary restrictions here, I can't have this, I can't have that? Is that all in a database so you know when you go out to Mrs. Taylor's house that she's getting the right thing that she's supposed to be getting?
Yes. So when they give me an application, and that can be written, or I can do that on the phone or email, we try to make it simple, then that's out there and that's taken care of when I go dish up meals.
COVID did a number on a lot of people, and including this organization. At one point before COVID, you were delivering you told me about 120 meals a day?
About 90 meals a day
And now you're down to...
Not so many, yeah.
How do you account for that?
Probably about half of that. Well, because the medical field changed so much, not as many referrals. Honestly, there's not as many medical support staff either. That affects the whole field. So we're probably getting more referrals outside the medical profession than we were before.
So we mentioned that. We mentioned how people are referred within the medical community after they're discharged from the hospital. They know that Mobile Meals is there for them if they need it. What about those people who have nothing to do with being hospitalized? They just need your services. How does that work? How do they find you?
So most of the people lately have found it through the website. And please be patient. Our current website, which is kind of a dinosaur, it's under construction. It's still working, and you can still fill out applications. But we will, hopefully in the next few months, have an easier website to navigate. But a lot of them they might type in meals while they're searching, and we do pop up in the search.
Now, it ain't free. To say this, I mean, the food does cost you money. I mean, it's
sure
for the patron. It's not much, but you kind of have to pay for it, right?
Yeah, we have to make a little bit to be able to pay our hospital bill too. So right now, going rate is $5.50 a meal. If somebody can't afford all of that, we do require a $2 minimum payment per meal. So we try to help everybody that comes to us and make that available.
But if people simply can't afford it, there is a small funding mechanism just to help defray some of that, right?
Yeah, very few people might ask me or tell me, gee, I can't even afford to. We might make a special exception for that. That's not the general rule, but we are a charity, and we do try to accommodate all folks.
Let's talk about the 28th. You're having a fundraiser at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, right?
We are. We're so excited because we haven't been able to really get the word out and have a fundraiser because of COVID. So we tried to do something that would draw a lot of folks, and who better than the Wenatchee Big Band? They are so super popular. So we lined them up months and months ago, and we're partnering with Dave Tosh at the Wenatchee Senior Center using their facility. So tickets are on sale. They've been on sale for a while. It's on the reader board too. So one is for $15, two for $25. You can contact me for those, or you can just drop by the Senior Center on Maple Street and say, hey, I want a ticket or two.
And Trish is really good about getting back to you. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. For you folks out there who might just give them a helping hand, you know, hey, I'm retired, or I got nothing better to do, I don't want to help these people out, or I got money sitting around and I'll just give you some money to help you out, Trish.
Exactly.
How does one go about doing that?
So you can call me at 509-433-3166, or my email is mobilemealsofwenatchee.org. You can contact me that way also. Just give me a holler. I'll get back to you.
You like your gig?
Oh, very
like
much.
Your job? Yeah.
Very much so. Very much
My guess
so.
is you're the queen of the spreadsheets. You got these are your clients, and these are your drivers, and these are the locations. You're probably really good at that.
Well, you know what? I need to give a huge shout out to Susie Pitts. She is my tech person, and she creates all of that for me. She tells me the easy steps, and I'm ready to go. So she has volunteered for Mobile Meals for years. But Susie's my tech gal, and she also fills in for me when I want a day off. So thank you, Susie.
And everybody deserves a day off. Mobile Meals, again, you're going to go to their website and you go, this is a dinosaur, but it's free because our parent company, Localtel, is paying for their internet. So, you know, you get to do that. What else can we do to help you out?
You know, I think that's about it.
Buy tickets to the big party on the 28th.
You can buy tickets. You can donate anytime. There is a button on the website if you just want to donate. Yeah, getting the word out, letting folks know in our community, hey, do you need some help with meal service? Give me a holler. I will work with you.
I guess that's the last question, and I should leave it with this, and I can't believe I haven't asked this. Who qualifies to be a patron, a client for Mobile Meals? I guess I probably should ask that question.
So we've talked about the homebound. We've talked about folks coming out of surgery. Maybe they're suffering from an illness. Maybe they're on hospice or some sort of service like that. We will help you out. And if you're thinking, I'm not sure even if I qualify, let me know. Let me know, because I get to decide.
You don't know if you don't ask, right?
That's right.
Trish, it's good to see you. Keep up the good work.
You too.
And don't forget to get your tickets for the big party at the Senior Activity Center on July 28th. And we'll be right back.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
It was 66 degrees when this show started an hour ago. It's now 68, leading the temperature parade, which is usually the case out in the Columbia Basin, both Ephrata and Moses Lake. You're checking in at 73 degrees, and the cool spot right now, Dryden, downtown Dryden, which is 63 degrees. Suburban Dryden is 64 degrees. Last couple of days haven't been too bad. Sunny, certainly warm in the afternoons, but now we're going to pass that threshold of warm and move right on into hot. From the National Weather Service, your forecast looks something like this. For the record, we hit 89 yesterday. That's about where we're going to be today, right around 89. I wouldn't be surprised if we get to 90. I think it's, is there a difference between 89 and 90 besides 1 degree, and not the way we feel it, I think. 63 for the overnight low, which is just a little bit above normal. So we'll have a slightly warmer start to the day on Friday morning, and then we're going to get going pretty good. Mid-90s for our afternoon high on Friday, 65 for the overnight low on Friday night, and then here comes the hot weather. Back-to-back days of near 100. We haven't hit triple digits this year. It's a possibility on Saturday and certainly on Sunday because we're going to have a very warm start to Sunday morning. And then we cool down to much more pleasant temperatures, if a little breezy, on Monday and Tuesday. And that's it for us. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Italy is known for its great food, ancient ruins, and beautiful art, but it's also home to beautiful waterways and gorgeous seas. Hey, that's me, Elizabeth, and today I'm exploring Italy with my friends Garrett Clayton and Mayada Walsh. Can you believe some of these boats out here? I mean, they're huge. Yeah, they're incredible. We'll escape to our gorgeous Mediterranean getaway near the coast of Ponza. Ooh, wow, this is cool. And we'll discover the islands of Capri and Ortiga. We are in the Piazza Duomo. If you've ever wanted to visit Italy, this is the way to do it, by boat. Look how colorful it is.
Yeah, this whole island is so beautiful.
I know. Wow.
All the buildings are a different color.
I like the pink ones.
Yeah, I like the blue ones.
And later we'll tour the Grand Canal of